Hello everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. I've got some new microphones and I think I got my voice back at last. Okay, right, I'm going to delve into my project board here because it wasn't broken. So I will now show you exactly how it works and expose all the little secrets. I've had quite a few comments regarding, well, when I run it on oil you get a build up of ash. Okay, well that's why I've got this here. Hopefully you can see it, what I'm pointing to. Yep, and that connects to the fan. So I can control the fan, and when you're other people saying you can't run it on oil because it builds up with ash inside and you have no way of clearing it after. Well, you can clear it after. You can, like I said, you can speed your fan up, yeah, which blows through the chamber and blows all the ash out your exhaust. So I'm going to turn them both on for a minute, which is the supercharger. So that's forcing air into the inlet, plus the main fan I'm controlling that I can actually, if I have a build up of ash, I can just release exhaust, yeah, and just blow the shit out. Let me show you. Right, probably won't hear me for a minute. Right, one fan on, supercharger. Hopefully you can hear that. So you can just leave it running like that until it's blown all the crap out. Yeah, so that's supercharger flat out now. And hopefully you can hear me because these are supposed to be noise cancelling microphones. Right. So yes, you can do it. Look, the actual main controller doesn't even know it's been hacked into. Yeah, so it's not a problem. Right, the problem I had was the glow plugs that I have two of. Yeah, and I've wired them in such a way I can tell if I've got one glow plug on or two glow plugs on. You get your multi-tester out and you've definitely got 12 volts and you think, all right, okay. But there was, the glow plugs would light up, or the little LEDs would light up, then trip off. And I'm thinking, all right, it's got to be one of these. So we just walk past you. Right, when you're testing a normal car battery, you have a, I'll show you in a minute. Right, so what I've got in here is two halogen bulbs wired, so the high beam and the low beam are on here. So I can actually do a draw test. Now you watch the top one. As soon as I put a draw test on, right there and there, yeah, you can hear the fan kick on, yeah, which knows it's pulling amps now. So I know that one's good. The bottom one, even though it does work, come on, where are you? Will you get on there? There we go. Yeah. Oh, you can't see because my arm's in the way. Now that's pulling amps, so it is working, the 40 amp one, but the fan is not going round. So I might have to take that apart. I think they've forgotten to actually plug it on. Put the little plug on the circuit board. Right. So that's proved these are working. So what did I have to run the glow plugs? Well, I had in here this thing. It's called a buck. Yeah, it transforms the power from 12 volts down to 9 volts. And I don't even know if that's in shot. Hold on. Have a look. Okay, let's see. See the two little blue ones there? That's for adjusting voltage as well as ampage. The ampage is the one you really need to concern about, not the voltage. I mean, you can have 12 volts and half an amp and it can do jack shit. Right, so what I found on it, so I took it apart. It was working on the board. I was getting voltage in and out the other side. It wasn't till I actually turned it over did I realise that all the semiconductors that have the heat sink on them, yeah, they were not soldered to the board. So I've had to resolder them. I've just gone to put it back on, and I thought, why is that? Oh, this side. Oh, that side loose and all. So this side's loose. So these are dry joints as well. You can actually see the little pins moving around inside. Which is, okay, it works, but you have to resolder it. Right. So like on your car, you know, normally your headlamps, obviously because they do pull a serious amount of amps, believe it or not. And that's why I got them in a jam jar, because if you don't want to get anywhere near a halogen bulb, it just burn you up. Yeah. But on a car, you have your headlamps working off relays, because every time you turn your headlamps on, yeah, if you were just using the indicator switch or whatever you do to turn your lights on, it would burn the switch out because they pull so much current so quick. So all the headlamps on your cars are run by relays. That's where the actual switching takes place. So this has given me a good idea without having to take the whole bloody lot apart. Yeah, just to find out, is it working, is it not? Even though it's giving out good 12 volts all over the place. Right. This is, hopefully it's in shot, I don't know. Right. Let me move it. Come here, you. Okay, as I was saying, right, this is for both glow plugs. Yeah, I've got it on a very heavy duty connector, and that is the original wiring in there, as well as my wiring. Yep, so I can have two glow plugs on at the same time at any stage. Say for instance, because I'm running two pumps, yeah, I have one pump here, one that's wrapped up here because I heat the oil, yeah, so I can run two pumps and there is enough ampage through that injector to actually run two. So you can just hijack the lead, yeah, and you can run two pumps off one supply. Let's go back to my glow plugs for a minute. Right, so I'll start it up. It's running on diesel, yeah. So open up my taps, let my flow of diesel come through, get it up to about 200 degrees or whatever. Then I can switch on the other pump. I've got a switch up here on the tank, and so I can have two pumps. Then I can gradually, by unscrewing the little, I can unscrew it half a turn at a time and start introducing oil. Now, if it starts to splash from fart and God knows what else, I can then turn both my glow plugs back on when it's already hot. Yeah, because just in case the oil is not hot enough that I'm like trying to cook all the way through. And so the glow plugs on its 2-minute cycle, because I've got a timer on it, I can just switch them on and it just helps light the cold oil that could still be in the pipe whilst it kicks in. And it does work. It really does work. Then you see your temperature start really, really revving up. Yeah, your chamber temperature comes right up, and I mean you're off to the races. Uh, you probably found with yours, right on the top is your heat temperature sensor. Yeah, and what I've had to do, because when I'm running it on both oils, diesel and whatever, it gets bloody hot and it will automatically cut out. It's designed to do that. So on the return to the board, yeah, here I've put a 5k resistor in it, so that it actually thinks it's cooler than it really is, so it doesn't cut out. You might think, right, okay, well, you've put that resistor in there. When you switch it off, does the fan run forever? No, it doesn't. It actually thinks it's a lot colder than, so it just runs to its normal preset time that's already programmed into the ECU. So it'll run its cool down cycle as normal. It didn't know how hot it was. It didn't have a clue. But do that at your own risk. Because yeah, it can. This whole thing, I mean, I've melted thermocouples and God knows what else. Yeah, you can get it really, really hot. Let me see if I can pause that for a second. Pause, please. Okay, right. You may be wondering, how can you run two glow plugs? Yeah, is without the actual main board knowing. It's a bit of a trick wiring, but you can do it using a Zener diode, yeah, of quite a high rating. So you're not backwashing 9 volts at 25 amps back through here, because you just fry this. Yeah, so this is my little bit of magic wiring in here. It achieves that goal without setting off any fault codes whatsoever, and it clearly works. I have turn it slightly wrong way, divvy up. Right, that amp meter, glow plug amp meter there, yeah. So it actually shows you that it's pulling, right, a nice steady 9.5 volts, yeah, right across the top. But when you first switch them on, you see the draw, and 2 glow plugs will pull 26.5 amps, yeah, which is quite a chunk of amps. So hence the 2 power controllers. Right, what else can I explain that might make your life easier? I love using this because it just creates so much heat. It really, really does. I've had no problem with the cap blocking up. People saying that, yeah, it's blocking up out there with ash. Well, you haven't got the ability to cough. Yeah, I mean, when we get a chest infection, we get rid of it by coughing. Yeah, so unless you can use its lungs and blow itself out, it's going to block up. There's no other way around it. Yeah, so that's why I have a supercharger or adapted fan in here, forcing air into the inlet chamber, and of course you can use it at the same time to clean your glow plugs. Yeah, because you can put both your glow plugs on and put both your fans on and blow the bleeding things clean. So, I mean, since I've done that, I've never taken the glow plugs out at all. The meshes are super clean because well, if you have a look at your combustion chamber, you've got a teeny weeny hole beside your glow plug. Yeah. When I put the supercharger and the fan on, I'm shoving air at the back of the combustion chamber, and that tiny little weeny hole that you can see beside your glow plug is where I'm shoving air in. So I'm blowing all this crap off the stainless steel mesh. Yeah, because I'm pressurizing the whole system. And you can do that when it's running. It's, it is possible. Nothing's impossible. Right, let me just pause for a second. Okay, this is how you'd normally test a battery. You can't risk doing it on your power supply because these are designed 7 up to 1000 amps. Yeah, so it's a dead short basically. Yeah, you put that over there and that over there, and you just hit the button and hold it as if that's the starter motor whizzing around. Yeah, so you can see that's just on borderline weak, but it would have started your car. Everybody thinks when they're cranking their car they've got 12 volts. They've got nothing like 12 volts. Yeah, I mean, a charged battery's 12.6 and a flat battery's 12.2. Yeah, so the time you go cranking, that needle would drop right round to about 8.5 volts. Yeah, which is just not enough. A good battery would drop to about 10.5 under cranking. Yeah, like I said before, I mean, my bulb system, just to test one of these, is the only real safe way of doing it, because you just blow it to bits otherwise. Okay.